Welcome back to the Three Amigos podcast. Week 2 is in the books, and we're here to talk all about it. But we have one order of business first before we go any further into the podcast. We have the newest member of the podcast fam in Mr. Charlie. How has it been being a father, Chris?
It's been an exciting few days, an exhausting few days, an amazing few days. It's been awesome. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, Chris. I think we're all just super stoked.
Thank you.
It's crazy to think that you two are dads watching these podcasts and hearing the things. There's one day they're gonna come back and look at some of this stuff and just be like, holy shit, those are my dads. And
How do I get these removed from the internet?
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is the post. We'll start posting embarrassing things as they start to grow throughout their life because it'd even be more fun. And I bet you're gonna have great stories to tell and share. So right now, you guys both have little infants, so I know there's not much to share besides shitty diapers and crying babies
And sign in
And
and sucking tits.
sucking tits. But the problem is we're not the ones sucking them. You know who was sucking a tit
Who's that?
last week? And I think it's appropriate for you to give us your newest rendition of a Cowboy Corner because you have a baby. Can you yell? Can you not yell?
This will be the lullaby version of the Cowboys Corner. Welcome. Take a seat, grab a snack, and let's hear about Justin's Cowboys. How you feeling, Justin?
Not as hyped as I was once before the Cowboys. But I am still feeling good. I know obviously there can be so many things said. There wasn't Aaron Rodgers. You played a shitty Jets team. Well, the Jets defense didn't get shitty. Their offense just got shitty. And our offense looked a lot better. Our defense is just as destructive and just as great. And holy crap, you guys, there is so much to talk about the Cowboys. I think truthfully in all good aspects, which is very, very hard to say because normally it's not like that. Normally it's me crying, someone got injured. We won one, lost the next one. We shot ourselves in the foot. We don't look dominant. We barely winning. But these last 2 weeks, there's really not much to talk about besides like how fucking good we are. And that's what's kind of scary. It's good and bad, right?
I'm surprised you even spoke any of that negativity into existence.
Yeah, fucking Cowboys fan over here.
You got to also be humble a little bit and know where you come from, and you come from those situations, but I think this year is just so great to watch. It's been so fun. And I did have I had my two things, and I think obviously you guys will come through and ask questions, but I got two questions for you and they're kind of related all in the same. Right. So one, do you think the Cowboys have the best defense in the league? Would you consider them the top defense in the league?
That's scary. It's between them and the 49ers.
Tough. Yeah, it's so close. Who do you guys play next week? I know we already covered this in our predictions podcast, but
I can't believe you don't know who the fuck they play next. They play the Birds, bro.
Oh, that's right, the Cardinals. Oh shit,
Cardinals.
That's not going to tell us anything either.
Well, this week even told us something because the defense, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. I lied.
It really doesn't.
It really tells us about our defense. It doesn't tell us how good we are. It just tells that we can stop mediocre offenses.
Well, you guys look dominant, but I just want to see a better team go up against it before I can definitively say that. But on the eye test, yeah, it's there. They look scary and they're stacked. And I think what makes them more scary than the 49ers is when you think of the 49ers D, your brain immediately goes to the name of Nick Bosa. They have other guys on that, but
Warner.
Yeah, and Warner. But those are the two guys, the key pieces. Where with Dallas, you have Micah, you have Diggs, now you have Gilmore, you have Lawrence, and so it's just shit. They just have bigger names on that defense because
they're Van Der Esch.
There's way more guys who are getting involved in the playmaking.
Yeah, I would agree. And honestly, you're not. For us, you don't get a test until week 5, and that's where we play the 49ers.
Oh, that's gonna be
fun.
great game, and I actually gave us the L. Remember,
Please tell me that is like a Sunday night or something.
it is a Sunday night game.
That'll be great.
Sunday PM.
I got to make sure I have October 8th off because I have to watch that game, or at least get.
That's gonna be a fun game to watch.
But yeah, I mean, I get what you guys are saying, and this is going to be my only plea to why I think we're probably just a little bit better. And the same thing that you just said, there's a little bit more talent all over the board, and I think you break it down. Our offense is a lot better than the 49ers too. So like it gives our defense more opportunities. I personally think, I mean, you can say both ways, but Dan Quinn also really helps us in the sense of he's a really great play caller.
Yes,
really good on defense.
Fantastic for our team. So I always give ourselves credit. I think at this point in time, we would have one of the best defense of the league, I think.
How are you feeling about the difference in play calling from last year with Kellen Moore to this year with Mike McCarthy?
I think it's going pretty smooth to begin with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're seeing like a little bit of adjustments and getting used to the swing of things and how it is, but it looks a lot more fun. It looks a lot more relaxed than just watching CD even ball out against that team. Like the Jets defense, you can't take it away that they're not a really good defense.
Oh, great defense.
So the fact that we were still able to do what we did, yeah, I don't think there was a couple times where we can't punch the ball in, but like, I mean, we still have drives all the way down the field, right? And so I still think it's getting better, it's getting good, and it's perfect for people like CeeDee Lamb. It's going to be perfect for like Tony Pollard and perfect for Michael Gallup as soon as they just get a little bit more going with them, a little bit
for
more
sure.
Just.
No, I honestly, dude, as the biggest Cowboy hater in this show, I can't talk really much shit about them this year so far. They look scary. They look good. Yeah, you got a good squad this year, which is funny because I didn't think. I don't know. I just figured, McCarthy's gonna choke and he'll get fired this year, but no, they're looking great.
Fine.
Yeah.
I have a 2-part question. Would you like the offense or the defense question first?
Let's go offense. Defense. We're already talking about it.
Defense. Okay. It feels like after watching highlights in some of your games, I don't always watch the Cowboys because the last 2 games have been quite boring if you're not a Cowboys fan. Does it seems like they are staying away from Diggs, but targeting Gilmore a lot more. And I only saw a couple plays, but he was the one that led up the Wilson big play, right? Mm-hmm. Does that fear you having Gilmore being targeted more?
No, because if you watch that play even specifically, it was just like a misalignment. It was a miss like read. Like really, he's like a step 2 behind, and obviously 1 step behind creates like a large gap if you keep going down the field. True. And I think there was another player that was supposed to be in that same position that kind of just like fucked with it. But no, not at all. I don't think that bothers us. I think it's good that they want to go after Stephon because Stephon is still just as great. But it just shows you like the respect level that you have for Diggs that you're going after Stephon rather than Diggs.
I think they're targeting Stephon just because he's the older player, Yeah. Diggs is the fresh legs more so.
And also, I don't really want to throw at Diggs. My offensive question is, how nice is it? How nice was it to see Ferguson catch a touchdown pass after dropping 2 last week?
Man, good, because like I have him also on my teams, and I just kind of like I am one of my dynasty league, right? Because I was like, dude, I don't really know who to pick up. I didn't pick up a good tight end, so it was cool because he got me some easy points. I love that. But I mean, dude, it's still like our tight ends are like the worst thing on our offense. So I'm not
after going from Mr. Witten himself to these tight ends. It's been rough.
Yeah,
I was just about to say, call up Witten.
No,
yeah, literally.
I think
get him in there.
What's his face that did good? Who's on Houston now? What the hell is his name?
Dalton Schultz.
Dallas
Schultz. I think Dalton Schultz did really good.
It's not Dallas Goedert.
I know.
But like right now, you're talking about Stephon being it. Like I don't understand what this player grade is, right? On PFF or whatever, but he's a 6.7, which is still really good from a cornerback. I know from my like thoughts, right? And we were talking about it earlier when I was calling Alex, but like, I think Trayvon Diggs is like a quarterbacks against him have like a 1 QBR. Meaning like literally if they threw the ball at the dirt, they would have a 39. That just shows you how much these quarterbacks aren't throwing at him. So like Daniel Jones didn't throw at him, Zach Wilson didn't throw at him, but Zach Wilson doesn't throw at anybody. He can't even throw.
I don't think Daniel Jones threw at anybody.
I don't think either quarterback actually knows when the ball's leaving their hands who they're throwing it to.
Yeah.
So,
but no, I'm pumped because I still think we still look so good. And then what's your offensive question?
That was my offensive question.
Oh,
How happy were you to see Ferguson catch the ball in the end zone? Give
No,
you a little confidence that he could catch the ball?
Oh yeah, I think after all those drops, but it was also raining. It was It was
I
raining.
get it, but still.
Into it. But my other thing was, okay, this seems like obviously talking too much, but the person I love the most, Stephen A. Smith. I hate that motherfucker with a burning passion because
He's a Steelers fan.
He wants to say anything he can bad about
he hates the Cowboys.
He hates the Cowboys.
And he can't even admit how good we are, right? Period.
They're good.
That's what pisses me off even worse is because he knows we're good. He won't say we're the best because it's too hard on his little body and his little mind.
Well, I feel like there's a part of it that's also just his shtick at this point. Like it goes against his TV character to do that, so he never will. So he's just sitting back and waiting until he can go back to like really shitting on them.
We call it eating crow, and sometimes you got to eat crow, dog, and just admit. So, like even power rankings, they have us at number 2 behind San Francisco, and he talked about how much better San Francisco and us, how they are going to be the better team, how they're going to wipe us up. And I have to ask it from you guys' perspective because I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you guys, I think,
I know,
hands down, we're probably the best team in the NFL right now. I think it's really, really hard to go against that.
The only reason I would give the 49ers the edge of week 2 is because they played the Rams and the Steelers, and the Steelers and the Giants are a very similar like team. They're not very great. They're not going to be good. They're average. But then that second game should have been if you would have beat a Jets with an Aaron Rodgers, 100%, you guys are number 1, but you beat the Jets with a Zach Wilson. So it's another average team that you guys beat versus the Rams, who did look really, really good. And then they played really, really hard. So I think that's the only reason they probably gave it to him. I'd say the 49ers in that aspect. I just still don't think I would want to play either team. So I don't know.
Well, yeah, if we had to make that prediction today for that game, I'd probably have to toss a coin. Like to me, it's that much of a 50-50. I don't think it's going to be a wipe the floor game in any direction. I think that's going to be a gritty defensive battle. Low scoring game.
Yeah. I guess I just put my money more in Dak Prescott than I do Brock Purdy for years of experience and then the talent that surrounds him. Because I think although Chris McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk are really, really great, talented people, Brock Purdy's still learning and going through the motions, right? He's still picking up like what he's got to learn as an NFL quarterback. And I think Dak has a little bit more experience, so he brings a little bit more to the table than
that's Brock fair. Yeah.
But still, I mean, it's just great. It's so hard to have these because it's such a great time to be a Cowboys fan because we look really, 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 really good. Unless injuries start to plague us. Knock on wood.
Don't even speak that into existence.
Hey, it's happened to everybody this weekend. So
I just don't want to
be. It happened to everybody.
But dude. I mean, besides that, I think I don't really have anything else other than, dude, we're going to be one of the best. So it's good. We'll get to see how the season rolls on. Week 5 will really be the big game. I think we play the Cardinals this week. Mr. McJam, I'm so sorry. It's going to be a little blowout. It's going to be another one of those boring games. So
how funny would it be if the Cowboys lost? I don't think they're going to, like, not even a little bit, but just how funny would it be to come on this podcast?
I think I'd be as pissed as you were last week.
Man,
I think I'd be just as pissed as you were last week. And
I was pissed.
Like I told Stephen A. Smith to do, eat crow, buddy. I would come in and I would eat crow because it's just what you do when you're wrong. Gotta be
speaking of being pissed, Alex, why don't you clock into work and let us know exactly why you were pissed? We want to hear every bullet point. I know I speak for both Justin and McJam when I say we really need to hear about your Kenny Pickett thoughts.
Okay, so we're gonna
savior in gloves.
We're gonna start where the jersey is. We're gonna start on the opposite side of the ball.
Okay. So on the positives.
On the positive, talk about a defense that probably isn't the top 5. the Steelers defense. I would say top 5 defense in the league. They're kind of insane. I think TJ Watt has 4 sacks in the season already, and a touchdown, and they got a pick 6, and somehow the offense scored 10 points, which is really awesome. So we our defense is firing on all cylinders. The only thing that I am worried about, and the only thing I really, really want them to do, is I think Joey Porter Jr. has only played a total of like 25 snaps in the NFL. I think we just need to rip the Band-Aid off and put him in there because I can't remember his name. Who the fuck else is playing cornerback for us? But he sucks, and it's not Peterson because he's not that great, but he's doing better. What?
Isn't Peterson your safety?
Patrick Peterson's our no, we have Kaz new, and then Peterson's our like cornerback.
Gotcha.
But we have another guy in Joey Porter Jr. who we drafted.
He was a great draft pick.
But he hasn't been playing too much. And I'm gonna just put him in there, get him the reps. Like he's gonna get burnt. It just happens. He's a rookie. Like just let him learn. Because this other guy is getting burnt and he's not a rookie. So that's the only part of our defense that has been struggling as of late is our cornerbacks. Everything else has been looking good, firing on all cylinders. And then we moved to, I never thought I'd be mad after a win. We moved to the offensive side of the ball.
You were beyond that.
This is a game to where I think we might have scored more points if we put the defense out there for offense and the defense out there for defense. I think we might have scored.
Who would be quarterback?
Somebody better than Kenny Pickett, probably at this point. All I'm saying is, listen, I know that I'm a big Kenny Pickett fan. I am. I really, really am. But Justin alluded to it earlier. We got to eat crow sometimes. Kenny Pickett is looking like he's a dog that just got beat the fuck up by another dog, went to his owner's house, got beat up again, and then doesn't know how to play football. That is what Kenny Pickett looks like. Okay.
What sick fucking version of Air Bud did you watch?
So I don't know what's going on with him. It's not just the play calls because I don't know what he was thinking and what is going through his head. I don't know if it's that he's been sacked fucking 8 times in 2 games. So he's just so afraid to hold the ball. And so some of the passes are like rifles. I'm like, he is 4 yards away from you. He does not need to get thrown a ball at 80 miles an hour. What the fuck is going on? And
that's definitely nerves.
That he's missing passes. Like he's missing behind, he's missing in front. There is a couple passes to Pickens that could have been bigger. They had the one 71-yard pass that if we didn't have that pass.
Well, it wasn't even a 71-yard pass. It was like a
4-yard pass that ran that Pickens himself did everything else. Pickett just passed it 4 yards. But if we didn't have that play right there, I think Pickett throws like 125 yards or something like that. It's not very great. And then I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it's Pickett. It's one, both, a combination, but they need to figure it out. Okay. I don't think he's on the hot seat. The one thing that is kind of frustrating about the Steelers is they are loyalists, which I understand because I am also a loyalist. I'm loyal. But sometimes they're loyal to a fault. And when you have
just like you.
Yes, it's very true. I understand. This is why I'm a fan of the Steelers. But remember when Canada was on fire?
The country,
not Matt Canada. The country of Canada was on fire.
Were people taking pictures of the fire and saying "Fire Canada"?
I'm just trying to make that's a good one. I'm just trying to make a what the fuck is it called? A metaphor here. Okay, so Canada on fire, right?
Yep.
That's Matt Canada right now. Not physically, he's not on fire. Don't light him on fire, guys. But he is on the hot seat. He is literally calling the most trash play calls in the world. Okay. And I know that people are saying these not bad calls, whatever. Steelers football for how many years on offense has been run the fucking ball? when you have a 6'2", 220-pound back who runs like he's fucking Chris. No dishonest towards you, Chris. You're not 6'2".
Wait. Say this again? Say this again. Go back.
I said, would you have a 6'2" running back who's 220 pounds?
Yep.
And runs like Chris.
What's wrong with the way I run?
He's alluding to your size and lack of efficiency if you were a running back, meaning that you would literally suck at running back. You're probably 6 foot soaking wet. You're 120 pounds. No, I'm just kidding. You're based like 180, 190, right?
What I would say is, how many yards would
you? He didn't think that you would get.
Honestly,
okay.
This
tomorrow.
No,
tomorrow. No, shut the fuck up. No. Because tomorrow I will be doing sprints, and I will be sending them to you guys to show you that that's a bullshit analogy because I can run better than that guy.
No, Chris. I was literally.
I would rather run at basketball, and it is funny too.
Yeah, I would rather have Chris.
You have not seen me sprint.
I would rather have Chris in the backfield at this point, bro. I saw a video of Najee Harris when he did the cutback run, or like he cut it back, and they're like, "Oh, I thought this was in slow mo." Yeah, it fucking looked like he was running in slow mo. Chris, I would rather have you in the backfield. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
Look, I can be in your backfield any night of the week. You just name it. The fact is, I can beat Najee Harris behind that horrible. Oh, well, actually, that's the question for you. How much of it is Pickett? How much of it is it Najee? Or how much of it is your O-line?
Can I take this one?
Yeah.
I think part of it is Alex has alluded to this on multiple occasions already through this conversation. It's a run game, and it's the running back. It's not the line. It is the single back that can't run a fucking football. How do you look like Derrick Henry but run soft as shit? How do you not just explode through the hole and get a little bit of burst? Najee Harris is going to be a bust at this point, and it's probably in the best decision of the Steelers to move on, probably quicker than later, right?
And there are so many plays when you're that fucking big and someone makes a leg tackle on you with one arm. What are you doing? Like,
and you told me about this earlier. Kenny Pickett hasn't had a bad stat line, but he threw 40 times because you're going to do shit week one, and then you get him in this position.
That's been our MO.
Doing the same shit again. He can't, you're putting so much pressure on one person because one can't also function, right? Like the run game establishes the pass game, or the pass game establishes the run game. They work in unison.
They work in unison, and we don't have one
performing. You can't perform as a unit.
Yep, and this is what I'll say. On the realistic side, we played a top 2 defense week 1, okay? Whether you want them 1, whether you want them 2, doesn't matter. Honestly, at this point, tie them for all being, right? They're probably very similar in scariness, okay? And then you play a Browns team who low key, their defense is on the rise. Their defense is actually pretty fucking good. Their front line is kind of insane.
They're so good.
It's crazy. And so the fact that he went from 5 sacks to 2 sacks this week, big plus. Okay. And so let's see how they play against. They have the Raiders, and then they have the Texans, I think. Raiders and then Texans. And so if they can play well against these 2 teams, then Raiders and then Texans. If they can play well against these 2 teams, these are not like, obviously you're in the NFL, so it's any given Sunday, but these are teams that we should beat. If we want to be a good team, like these are teams that we should beat. And so if we can't beat these teams and our offense still looks absolutely fucking trash, what's the next step for us? Don't know. Who's out there? Don't know. But I wish it was Kyle Shanahan calling our plays and not Matt Canada. That's all I'll say.
The one thing that was super funny to me is, if anybody knows Alex, he does not text, right? It's not his conversation. He'd rather call, he'd rather pick up, make it super easy. This man was blowing up my phone watching that game. He was texting me like 3 in a row, mad as fuck that they were winning. Like so mad. Literally, like, what kind of fucking throw is that? He's a bum. They need to score. Is he asleep? I like Warren better. I'm not even mad. I just hate the Browns.
I fucking hate the Browns. I hate the Browns. And I will say
not
this.
Even mad.
I will say this. If it wasn't the Browns, I wouldn't be as mad as I am. But the fact that the poop Browns with a guy who shouldn't even be fucking in the NFL is playing quarterback who absolutely looks like trash. So good for the Browns for paying $200 and whatever $1 million you spent on a guy who can't fucking throw a ball better than Kenny Pickett. Yeah, so good for them. Good for them to be that bad. You lost the only person that I would ever root for on the Browns this game. So sorry. Did not. That's horrible. But happened to the wrong guy. Would never say that actually to any other person in the NFL but one person on the Browns. And you lost the only reason to root for the Browns. And now you're just a trash organization with a trash mascot with a trash fucking color. They suck. They're trash. They're the number one least favorite team in the country. They're the number one least favorite state in the country. So fuck them all. And the Browns suck. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think you just need to light fire to your offense and like burn it all to the ground and start over. Like at least within certain people. No, so hey, I gotta ask that bet you made beginning of the season. You eating it? You feel bad?
No, we're still listen.
Do you think there's any optimism in it that there's actually might happen?
Let me get these next 2 weeks and then I'll tell you.
Yeah. Chris, how do you feel about him in this point? Because it doesn't look pretty.
I'm worried. Like I'm gonna send him like a helpline number and everything to make sure he's okay.
Yeah. Because dude, Kenny looks rough, brother. I know you talk so highly of him, but he looks uncomfortable. He does.
And I think it's just when you get sacked 8 fucking times in 2 games,
you're scared.
You're scared, and like you're like, I don't know if my offensive line's gonna be there.
Why do you wear 2 gloves?
Hey, is Kenny 2 gloves?
That's dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
What he does. It's what he does. What do you want him to do? Change up his whole routine?
Gloves. Like I'd rather one quarterback wears 1 glove, most of them wear none.
Look at Teddy B. He wore 2 gloves.
Yeah, where's he at?
Yeah.
Wow.
He didn't look good.
He got gruesomely injured, so it's not like
but it wasn't like he came back and revitalized his career.
No, but I will say this. So shitty to hear and see what happened to Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
4 straight seasons with 1,000 rushing yards. I was absolute. If I'm gonna be honest, if Nick Chubb's in that game, I don't think there's any way we win that game. No. He was tearing us up. Like we could not do anything to stop him. And then Minka went to the hospital. So
Minka Fitzpatrick went to the hospital too?
Yeah.
Because of the Nick Chubb?
Oh yeah, because of his chest, because Minka hit him in the chest when he got hit on the knee. He like got taken to the hospital mid-game too. So we'll see what happens there. That would be a big loss for us if we don't have him in there. But
yeah. I'm sorry, Alex. This is not as fun as it was last year, was it?
No, it's fun still. They won. I don't know why I'm like this when they won. But maybe Chris can lighten some maybe put some light on how I'm feeling, because they lost, but you've probably felt like this when the Lions won.
There's definitely been victories where it's just like, we escaped with the win, but I'm mad about this and that or the other. But I think for me, being a Lions fan, it's easier for me to just be happy about a win than it is to really critique it too much. Where like,
yes, that's true.
Like it's probably easier for you to not be satisfied with a single win against the Browns, because it's like that should
we do that
given
every fucking
and all
year.
this, and so no, I definitely feel for you.
Thank you. Well, I'm clocking out. I'm going home to drink some beers, obviously, because fucking this was a trash season. You know who should be crying though? And that's the man that is the myth, the legend, McJam.
McJammer, how are you feeling about your Cardinals blowing a 20-0 lead, and then it was like 28-7 at one point too?
Yeah, so something rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyed the first half. Was watching it and then yeah, had to go meet my parents, and so I stopped watching the game and then just was getting updates, and every update was just worse and worse. Honestly, the first half we looked pretty good. I was satisfied. I don't really know what happened. I know there was a few turnovers.
Yeah, what happened is the Cardinals forgot how to play football in the second half.
Yeah.
I was watching that game because I had a bet on it, and they just like I don't know what was happening, but they couldn't. That defense came out of nowhere, and they like finally stopped them. And then Josh Jobs, I think, is showing his lack of playing in the NFL and just couldn't like get a first down. He would have some like throws, and it'd be like 3rd and 15, and he would do a check down every single time. There was like no, it was like, what the fuck? It's 3rd and 15. Why are you checking it down? Like you get the 3 yards, it doesn't matter. Take a fucking chance out there.
Yeah. Not looking too good for the season. Playing the Cowboys next week. Not excited to watch that game. So probably going to start off 0-3, but I think we're going to have a mid-season pickup.
Do you think that's because Kyler will come back?
I'm hoping. Yeah.
Week 10, week 12.
Hopefully sooner than that.
They won't be sooner than that.
I think you're in a tank.
If you guys are fucking 0-9, there's no way he's coming back week 10.
Yeah, actually, if you are 0-9, they're just gonna shut him down for the season.
Just fucking
let him
2024
really make sure he's healthy.
You guys still had a 70% chance to win that game with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. You had 70% chance to win that game with 5 minutes left in the.
I was watching that game, but it was rough.
I bet all those Cardinals fans were just dead. I would love to see what is it, State Farm still? What it looked like.
Yeah, State Farm still.
The Red Sea, right?
Mm-hmm,
the Red Sea of tears is what it fucking felt like, probably.
The Red Sea needed a tampon because it couldn't stop the bleeding when they started making
too heavy of a flow. McJim, how do you feel about Josh Dobbs as your quarterback?
Honestly, I had no idea who he was like a few weeks ago.
I mean, yeah.
But from what I've seen, like he's not doing horrible. Obviously, I didn't watch the second half there, but I know I think he had a rushing touchdown in the first quarter. Maybe it was the extra point, actually.
Nope, he had his first rushing touchdown.
Yeah, and then I think he had 2 touchdown passes, so not bad.
Stat-wise, he doesn't look bad. 21 for 31, 228 with the touchdown. Like, it just sounds like Alex said, he just couldn't get it going. Like,
inexperience. Yeah.
Second half, like, dude, like when I tell you it was like fucking 3rd and 20, and they're like, you know what we're gonna do? Check down. What the fuck is going on?
That's possible. Coaching a little bit too, you know.
I think it was just the lack of experience of or the lack of almost confidence to throw the ball like down the field, because they were winning the whole time, and he's like, I don't want to make a mistake, and well, you made a mistake.
Well, yeah, mistake was not making a mistake. Chris looks so lost, and he looks out of it. So let's just bring him back home. Jam, I don't think you have anything else to bring up to this thing. The Birds.
No, I'm good.
I figured it's dead. Dad is tired, so Dad, hey, I want to sit down. I want to get served some good food. Where do I got to go for that?
Well, you know what? I would head up the road and find a good Waffle House or something, because the Kneecap Diner burnt the entrees this week. A little bit of a disappointing week for many reasons. The biggest is potentially losing CJ for the year.
That's rough.
It sounds like they're hopeful that he'll make a return this year. So that tells me that whatever pec tear he has is pretty minor, because it happened in the beginning of the game and he played the rest of the game with it. They didn't find out it was a tear till after.
DJ came back in 9 weeks from his last year.
Right. So I'm hoping he can come back and that the Lions can do all right until then. But that one definitely hurts. That sucks. I knew that Jared Goff was going to throw a pick. I don't know if you guys probably don't pay attention to enough Lions stuff to know, but
I'm gonna be real with you. You're the only Lions thing I pay attention to.
He was one of like 4 quarterbacks to go the longest stretch of games without throwing a pick since 1950, and they were hyping that up all week. And I knew you motherfuckers, you are setting his ass up. And then not only does he throw the pick that I knew was coming, it just unfortunately had to be a pick 6, which ultimately I think you could argue cost us the game there. There was obviously opportunities to win it. It went into overtime and everything, but that was just kind of the nail in the coffin when I was watching it. It was just like, ooh, there she goes. Our defense just did not play very well at all. They had moments here and there. Like they came up clutch at the end to give the offense a chance to send it in overtime, which we did, but it just, I don't know. It was a disappointing game. I missed the very beginning of it because of the water breaking. And so we were driving to the hospital. And then while we were signing in, I was, watching it on my phone. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, we're doing all right, whatever. And then we get into triage and I'm still watching it. And then when we get admitted, I lost connection for a hot second until I got my tablet hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and then I was helping Sydney breathe and being supportive while I was watching the game. I think I sent you guys a video, didn't I? Of
you did.
So I did my thing, and so I was able to watch the good majority of the rest of the game, and I obviously wasn't too upset because I was about to be a dad in like an hour after the game ended. So I was still in a pretty great mood. But if that didn't happen, it was just a regular Sunday, I would have been you, Alex. I would have been cussing out Jared Goff. I would have been cussing out the defense. Because that was a very winnable game. But you know what? I didn't expect to win the Kansas City Chiefs game going into this season. And I even said, there's a chance we could even start 0-2 because of the Seahawks team. Now, granted, I don't think the Seahawks are as good as I thought they were going to be this year. So it kind of bothers me, but you know what? We're starting off 1-1. We got the Falcons up next. I'm still feeling pretty good about this team. Yeah. We just really got to get it together on defense.
These stat lines are so underwhelming to the score of the game. And it seems like Seattle has your number. They
do. They do.
Playoffs, period.
Pisses me off.
Yeah. But I think like you just mentioned, big was your points against. So you have the highest points against besides the Bears in your division at 57. The Bears have 65. Yeah. Like your defense.
The Bears.
Like in this game, like just looking at, like I didn't watch it, but like looking at like where it's at, I mean, there should have been no excuse that you guys shouldn't have just dominated or kept the game rolling the way it did. Looked like in the fourth quarter came down. That's when you guys started to kind of like really implode on yourselves a little bit. Funny that his first interception he has was actually an interception return for a touchdown. Yeah, that's really shitty of all things, right? So maybe just some things didn't go your way to where you couldn't win this game. But dude, I think it's what really, really funny is how CJ was so hyped. Get the blue ski mask. This is the culture change. This is everything. You guys lose your first game at home, and then he injures himself. Then David Montgomery injures himself. So now
that was rough.
Gibbs gets the
yes, Gibbs. Well, and David's. I'm okay with that because his injury isn't that serious. He's just going to be out a few weeks. We'll get him back, but this does give Gibbs the opportunity to really showcase his potential. Obviously, I don't think he's got that power run ability that Montgomery has, but he's so athletic and gifted that I'm ready to see him take off a bit more and then see what they can do together when Montgomery comes back. Now, at least, in the history of the Lions, I've seen them get blown out a lot. If we're going to lose, it's not as bad losing in overtime in a close game. It's like, okay, well, at least we didn't get our asses kicked.
I'm dead. Determining wins on how bad your ass.
Yeah. I do have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Your Sunday was definitely a 10 out of 10, correct?
For sure.
100%, 10 out of 10. Would this win have made it an 11 out of 10?
I mean, No.
or is it tradition that
What's tradition?
that a Lions boy is born
During
on
a
a
loss?
losing day?
Well,
Well,
maybe this is the reverse curse, like, hey, I always say I'm a curse because literally a couple days I was born after we won our last Super Bowl. We haven't won or been to one since. And
so what you're saying is maybe
Barley.
he's the good luck that I need going
Maybe they don't
forward.
lose the rest of the season.
Ooh, dude, if that happened, I would be on the local news telling everyone that I have Jesus Christ the 2.0 as my son. If we just won out ever since he was born, hell yeah, I'd be like, he is the chosen one.
He is
But yeah, I hope so. I mean, I hope that we can turn it around and still have a great year. I'm not too discouraged. If we were blown out, yeah, I'd be really worried and discouraged.
Yeah, me too. It sucked to get blown out.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you still had a good day and some other things went your way.
Yeah.
Just because this doesn't go away doesn't mean it was a bad day. And that's a great day to remember because even Alex, it wasn't his day, but he still got a win and he still was mad. So
you could have been like me. You could have been like me.
Yeah.
We do have other notable topics that happened in the NFL. We already touched on it, but sad day for Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
I don't
horrible for my fantasy teams, horrible for Nick Chubb.
Okay, I think it's more horrible for Nick Chubb and we don't care about the Browns. Nick Chubb.
I love that they like sugarcoated his injury though, right? Like significant knee injury. What does that mean? It took a minute to look up what it finally was, which you guys are aware of everything that happened to him.
Oh yeah, the dude needs 2 surgeries.
Tore 3 ligaments, a dislocated kneecap, and I think there was like one other thing.
I'm honestly shocked that he didn't tear his ACL. He tore his PCL, LCL, and his meniscus. I'm shocked he didn't tear his ACL. I'm like, how the fuck did you not tear it? Like, how?
But it's a brutal injury when they replay it at the stadium and you hear the Steelers fans go, oof.
Yeah, I was proud of the Steelers fans for chanting Chubb's name, and then standing up and like clapping him off as he was carted off the field. Like
because he's a respectable guy. Like, how do you not have?
If it's Deshaun Watson,
you guys are good, and that's
we are not a shit organization.
The Browns, Alex, get your head, you fucking idiot.
Browns are a fucking shit organization.
You guys still have like love and respect for. You guys play really competitive teams. That's why you're being so mad, but like. You guys play the Browns like that every year. You play the Ravens like that every year. Like every time you have a divisional game, it is a tough game. Have a lot. I
get it. It's just Deshaun Watson, I think.
Hey,
no, it's not gonna. I'm not gonna get over it.
But anyways, super sad.
It's the second time in his career that it's happened.
Nick Chubb?
Yeah, he had another
horrible
injury in college. Do you think at 28, I think he is, his career's over?
No, I hope not. I really hope not.
Maybe he could play again, but do you think after going through a second leg injury that he wants to go back into the NFL and play again? Does he want to do it?
Depends on how much money he's made and how good he feels, I guess.
True. I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. But yeah, I don't know. Like, do you want to even go? Because when Adrian Peterson tore his ACL, he came back and he ran 2,000 fucking yards. So
yeah. But that's unheard of. That's like literally like 1 in a million right there.
Yeah, but I think he'll still come back, but it definitely will take time. There'll be a lot of like moving parts for it. I don't think he'll be the same back that he was, but I think he'll still be something.
Yeah. So this is 2 weeks in a row. 3 injuries on every Monday night game so far. Shaq Thomas hurt his ankle during the game for Carolina last.
Those significant ones.
Yep, significant. But his a little more significant than Saquon Barkley's because Saquon Barkley's is just a high ankle sprain.
It's just his like
3 games
injury.
Yeah, annual injury where Dable said we can't even rule him out for Thursday, which makes no fucking sense to me.
I thought he was ruled out for Thursday.
Not according to Dable. His press conference. He's a fast healer.
Okay.
Hey, that's what he said. So he said. So whoever plays Monday night this week, watch out. Two games Monday night. Be careful. They don't look great.
Injuries are lurking.
They are. You know who's not injured, and you know who is lurking? Puka Nuka, 10 receptions for 100 yards. The only person to ever do that first two games has 25 receptions this season.
You could have had more if he would have caught more of the passes that first game too. When I watched them against I forgot who they played, Seahawks that first week.
Mm-hmm.
He was targeting him the entire game. Like that is why he has as many catches and stuff as he does, is because Matthew Stafford is looking for him.
Talk about a fun player and a fun name.
Yeah,
what a cool name.
From?
Where'd
he go to college? Do you know? I know.
Did he go to?
He went to a school you won't even think of. No,
really?
Yep.
Like Central Michigan?
Puka Nuka?
Yeah.
I know where he went.
Where do you go to, Chris?
He started out at BYU and he ended at, or vice versa. I could have this mixed up, but it's two different colleges. One's BYU and the other's like.
Is it some college that Cypress went to?
No. He actually went to he did go to BYU, and that's where I was like, he went to Washington first. So he played his
so I had it mixed
and then transferred to BYU for
BYU.
But it's funny because he was born in Provo.
Oh.
So I can tell he obviously is some type of island, right?
Oh, he's super Hawaiian.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing is, right, we don't have anything against the Momos. We love the Mormons, if that you didn't know that, right? But I do know a large part of Hawaiians do become Mormon because they do have a huge presence in there. And that does not surprise me that he is from Provo and also went to BYU.
Who was Mormon?
Tua is, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we have a family friend
plays on Sundays.
Yeah. Family friend that's from the islands.
I think he wears his special garments though under his jersey, and they're supposed to protect him from concussions.
Okay, now we're getting crazy.
Come on.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's get
Next topic.
Puka Nuka.
I just think that's sick. Honestly, dude, people left him on fantasy waivers, by the way, and they let him go. And I mean, I got him in 2 leagues.
I got him in a couple.
I didn't end up picking him up in any leagues, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He got swiped.
All right, boys. This is a question of the day. Second, we have 2 questions of the day. 1, who is the most surprising 2-0 teams? The Commanders, the Falcons, the Bucks, the Saints, the Ravens, the Eagles, the Dolphins, the Niners, or the Cowboys?
The Bucks for me.
Commanders.
I'm saying the Falcons
2-0, but the Bucks for sure. The Commanders have had really close games, but the Bucks have looked pretty good in all those games. So I would
think about it. The Commanders have played who? The Cardinals and
Broncos.
The Broncos, 2 shit teams. Like it's they have enough talent where the Commanders seem like a worse team because of the division they're in. So I'm not so surprised that they beat those 2. The Bucks, however, it's like, oof, they took so long to determine a QB. They're just not the same team they were with Brady. They played the Vikings right off the bat. Everyone thought I think we all picked the Vikings to win that game. And then everyone thought, okay, well, Chicago, they've got all this talent. They're going to get it together. No, I'm surprised the Bucks are 2-0 for sure.
I'm going with the Falcons because I had no faith in that rookie team.
That's fair.
They're wide receivers at second year. Their quarterback's basically a rookie. He did not play.
They'll be 2-1. Don't worry.
And then Bijan Robinson, who's looking absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I think he was predictable to be good though.
Yeah, and so I think for me personally, that's the most shocking 2-0 team.
And then it's 0-2 team.
Well, I think you have a good reason for those 2-0. Like Falcons are another one, but they played some shitty teams. Like they played the Panthers, and then they played the Green Bay, which I mean, Green Bay's not shitty, but like it's still surprising to see them. Mm-hmm. Saints are another one of those that I'm surprised are 2-0.
Saints, yeah, new offense, new team. Like
Yeah.
I
The
thought the
rest of
Saints
those,
were going to dog walk that division just because of how bad it is, but it seems like the Bucks and them are going to keep it pretty tight.
yeah.
Now we're gonna move to who is the most surprising 0-2 team. We have the Cards, the Bears, the Texans, the Panthers, the Broncos, Patriots, Chargers, Vikings, and Bengals.
It's
I love that
definitely
you guys
Bengals for me.
Could not spell Bengals, and it's definitely the Bengals for me.
Because
Oh, mine,
they're
Well,
going to
actually,
fall even harder.
mine's not the Bengals.
mine's the Chargers. You could score so many, like it's crazy. I think they scored. I can't remember what the stat of how much they've scored, but then they have had 0 turnovers and all this stuff, and they still can't win the game. How do you have all these points? How do you have no turnovers or no mistakes, but you're not winning the football game?
True. I'm gonna
Like,
go with. I understand it's maybe not super shocking, but I'm gonna go with my most surprising is the Bears, and that's not because they're 0-2, but that's just because of how fucking bad they've looked.
Justin
Like,
Fields is not the
yeah,
guy.
the Chicago Justin Fields is no longer the Chicago Justin
He
Fields. It's
needs
the
to be a
Chicago
running
Bears
back.
again. Yes, and so I just was not expecting them to be so bad. Like the Bengals, I think I took away the Bengals because Joey Burrow was injured. He was injured coming into this season, so I was like, oh, they might not be good in the beginning. But yeah, and then did you guys see the fifth most watched ESPN college football game
I watched the
in
end.
Colorado and Colorado State? I did the opposite. I watched the first half because some ungodly reason it started at 8:30 p.m. my time.
Yeah, that was crazy that Travis Hunter got hospitalized for a lacerated liver, I believe.
Something like that.
Which is just nuts. That was a
Gnarly.
dirty late hit, but like watching the replay of it, it didn't look that bad to me. Like it was like a cheap blindsided shot. Like it
100%.
definitely knocked him down, but I didn't watch it live. I wasn't watching the game at that point. I had tuned in after that, but there was like LeBron James and all these people reacting to it on Twitter that you would have think someone took his head off. So
it looked a lot harder in person or
in
like
person or
in
like live.
live. Yeah.
Okay.
It looked a
And
lot.
I maybe that's why
It did look
didn't
bad
look that bad.
in person. Like you watch some of the videos, it looked pretty bad.
Mm.
But like I think that just added fuel of fire for people to get hate because like that dude has been receiving death threats. His family's
his
been receiving
family
death threats. They found like they leaked his phone number, his address. They've done so
Whoa.
much.
People
like,
need to chill.
That's yes, it's a game.
it is a game at the end of the day. This kid is a
Like emotions were high. He wasn't purposely trying to lacerate his kidney or his liver.
He was
yeah, emotions were super high. This is a game both those teams came in hot and heavy.
Yeah.
And Colorado State held their end. Honestly, I'm
Held their
super
own.
impressed that they even were fighting in this game. I thought
it honestly made me question how good Colorado really is. Because if you think about it, through week one, they played a TCU team that had lost the majority of their team from the year last year.
True.
Then in that Nebraska game, they didn't really take over until the end of the third quarter.
Yeah.
So I was so excited for the Oregon and USC games. Now that's not really as exciting because Travis Hunter won't be in them.
Yes, and I will say
out for a couple seasons, like weeks.
Yeah, a couple games, yeah. I will say this is like the Steelers playing the Browns, the Lions playing whoever in that division. Like it's just this is something they play every single year for years and years and years. They've been playing this team. So sure they're gonna play them a little bit harder. But I guess college is a little different. When you have a rival, it doesn't matter. You still beat the fuck out of them for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And so
emotions are high. It's not like in the pros where it's like, oh, we could be teammates one day because you could get traded. I could go to your team in free agency. No, this is where I'm from. This is where I represent. I want to beat the shit out of you. Yeah.
I don't think it's it's not. It doesn't make me nervous for these games moving forward because they're still like trying to learn each other and gel together. And the problem is like as much as Deion is a hype man, he also brings a ton of attention, and it means people are coming to come harder. Right, they're a little bit more apt to play this game, and all that stuff leading into it was really, really, really like. I bet both teams came in hot. So, like, I definitely think the USC game will still be good. I still think the game will still be good. I don't think it'll be as great as we had Travis Hunter in those. But it'll be interesting to see. Dion is just a legend, dude. The things he's done is insane. His sunglasses sold out in like minutes, and they made like $68 million in revenue. It was insane. Those stupid sunglasses.
Which ones?
The ones you bought.
He
Yeah.
he has a. Oh, you actually bought them?
Hey,
$68. They're not that bad, man.
yeah, not
Yeah,
bad.
honestly, they're not crazy priced.
But it's just they're gonna have a lot of people come for their head. Like every game's gonna be tough fought because they're playing Deion Sanders, you know.
Deion Sanders.
And yeah, I'm excited to see them play. I want to see what if Shador is actually that good without his number one.
Right.
I mean, that Xavier kid though, number 10, looks pretty.
He's pretty good.
He's
pretty good.
It looks pretty good. It's just now on the opposite side of the ball, where if Travis Hunter was going to play one side of the ball, it's defense. Like that's a shutdown corner right there. So I mean, I guess we'll see. So going into the top 25, Michigan State at number 2, Georgia at number 1, Texas jumped above Florida State because they had a rough game against Boston College.
Yeah. Sorry,
that
Jake.
was rough. He won his bet.
They didn't lose. They
didn't lose. They won by 3. He won his 14 leg bet.
That's actually amazing. That's like so huge.
And then USC stays at 5. Ohio State right out at 6. Penn State, Washington. I think the most notable ones is Oregon jumped 3 spots. Alabama dropped again.
Alabama's bad.
They don't look great.
No.
Colorado dropped a spot, and Tennessee dropped a lot of spots.
Whoa.
Yeah, they dropped a lot of spots to Florida. That was a rough game to watch. Minton doesn't look like he is gonna be. He is not Hayden Hooker.
Nope. I told you he is
expecting him to be
athletic, but not consistent.
Can't throw the ball.
It's bad.
Yeah.
You know, the team that's most surprising me in all this is Washington. Last year, Washington was ass, bro. Ass. I remember because obviously live in Seattle. We hear all of it. We see all of it.
Mm-hmm.
They did better at the end of the year, but nothing crazy. And they've been blowing out some teams. I don't think they've played anybody like really great, but Michigan State, they just played and beat 41-7.
To be fair,
Michigan State,
as someone who hates Michigan State, they had quite a bit of distraction this week.
Yeah, they did. They got Mel Turner, right? Mel Tucker, fucking sexual allegations, bro.
Yeah, he's going to be fired.
I know we didn't even talk about it, but the Bears defensive coordinator got raided by the FBI today.
So, dude, that is such a weird thing because you see so many reports saying, no, he resigned for family and health and all this, and the raid stuff isn't true. And you see all this other stuff that's like, no, like his house was raided. And the Bears had to come out and say that their practice facility was not raided, but they never said anything about whether or not his house was raided.
What was he raided for?
There's two coaches that got raided.
Oh, what is it for?
Was it just him? I read something about sensitive material, so the only thing that my brain goes to with that is kiddie porn.
If they're pedophiles, get them out of here. We don't deal with that.
I hate speculating on it because we don't even know for sure that it's true that their place was raided.
Yeah, I don't know. But if it is that, fuck them.
Yeah, for sure.
We have some big games coming up for college football. We have Colorado and Oregon, should be fun. UCLA and Utah should be fun. Ole Miss and Alabama was going to be probably a lot more fun if Alabama had a quarterback. The big one that I'm really excited to see and I can't wait to watch to see how good they actually are, Notre Dame and Ohio State.
Yeah, that'll be great.
That'll be a really fun game.
I hope Notre Dame beats the shit out of them.
Probably
Dude.
Yeah,
Notre
me
Dame
too.
looks pretty good though.
Notre Dame with this kid. I don't know, not this kid, this grown ass man with a full beard. What's his name again? Sam Hartman.
Yeah.
Hartman. He looks fucking good.
this will be really good for Ohio State. They need the awakening in a sense, right? Like I don't think they look as good as what they've been in the past. They're kind of like are falling a little bit back. No, I mean I like the Ohio State. I would say it's one of the teams I like to follow in college because it pisses Chris off the most. Plus, I got some family ties, right? Mm-hmm. So ultimately, I think this will be a really good game to see like what they're made of. And two, hey, another one I think is really fun. Hey, McJam, you got a hard one this week at home, baby. You ain't gonna win, no matter what.
Are you going to the game?
What is it, USC?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be there.
That'll be the hardest game of their year.
Should I take the minus 35 points?
No way that's what it is. Is that real?
It's what
the spread is 35. Holy shit.
Look, he's so pissed.
At home.
Well, they just got
that's disrespectful.
They got blown out by
2% to win.
They got blown out by Oklahoma State by 28 points.
Yeah, I understand that, but that's just a large spread for a home game.
So rough, man.
Very large, very, very large spread. And then last but not least, in this week's episode, because we're all tired.
We're all tired.
Fantasy football. How'd you boys do this week?
I did good in like half my leagues. And well, I'm really pissed. Actually, I'm glad that you brought this up because I'm really mad at both McJam and Justin because going into the games, I was projected to beat both of them. And then during the games, like especially in the beginning, I was projected to beat both of them. And then they both decided to be little assholes. And on the day of the birth of my firstborn, they decided to beat me in both of these leagues. And I'm pissed.
Glory. Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you know you lost to me week 1 in the ESPN?
Yep. And now week 2 in the yep. I know.
I wanted you to know.
No, it's really pissing me off.
McJam,
and like, okay,
good job.
Burrow pissing me off. Obviously,
Burrow's
Chubb's injury pissed me off. That really hurt. Like, I'm just, it's not going well.
Can I have the mic for just 2 seconds?
Yeah.
And so in our league we've been in for 9-10 years. I played your brother, and I lost by 1 point. Okay, that was real rough. Do you want to know why I lost by 1 point?
Is it something to do with the Lions?
Nope, it's not something to do with the Lions. It's something to do with the fucking New York Jets got -1 points.
Oh, their defense?
Their defense got -1 point. So
yeah, that's the risk of defense is they can give you negative points pretty easy.
It was rough. So I lost.
Them out, bro.
Listen, I didn't think that the offense of the Cowboys would fuck them up. Okay, I knew that the defense would fuck them up, but I didn't think the offense would just like absolutely obliterate them. And so I lose by 1 point there.
Their offense made Sauce Gardner like quit Twitter.
Yes. So what I'll say is this week for fantasy for me was a little rough. I won 3 of 5. So over half. I haven't got a win in one of my leagues. Real rough. I don't know. I was
0-2 in a couple leagues.
Dude, I was
those are the only leagues I'm 0-2 in.
Yeah. I literally had to beat somebody by 11 points, and I had Derek Carr left to play, and he got me 7 fucking points.
Damn.
7 points as a quarterback.
Did you even see what I sent you on Instagram, Chris? Because I know you don't look at that.
I'm gonna check.
It just says
pretty funny.
He starts 0-2, and then it's fucking Jameis Winston like doing one of his motivational.
We're in pain. Yeah, it was pain.
My fingers.
Jeez, bro, you can't do it. I was when so me and Alex were like on a 2-hour phone call today. We were just trying to whatever doing stuff, but like I was absolutely hyping myself up because I'm fucking up fantasy this year. I am beating the shit out of people. Oh yes, it feels great to beat you not once but twice.
Good job.
Week back. This week, McJam, I'm sorry, you're in my path, brother, and you're just gonna have to feel the wrath too. Dude,
McJam, you got him.
And I'm in 4 leagues, I think total, and I am undefeated in 3 of the 4, and I only lost last week because one of my quarterbacks ate dog shit. But
Good job.
that league is a little bit different. But the big ones that are most important, the Dynasty League, I'm fucking it up. I love to see it. The running backs I have are insane. In this league, I'm fucking it up. In the ESPN, that one's the one I really, really want to win because if I went back to back, I get to fuck it in Chris' face. I get to be the back to back just like him. He's no longer the single, no longer the and I'm beating dude Nick. I don't know if Nick actually listens to this. And if not, I hope you just tell him to listen to this because I fucked Nick up 131 to 82. I don't know if he was actually playing.
No, we were talking. He wasn't too happy.
Yeah, easy. I really hate to say this and really kind of thing, but I'm pretty sure I had one of the best drafts in our entire league. I think I won a lot of points.
It's week 2.
At the end of the day,
I don't expect
injuries
to be
happen.
the same.
You know, there's a lot to go on. Yeah, I know.
Lost. Yeah,
hurts.
I have a lot of depth. My bench is depth. I have players that are outscoring. I'm still winning. It's just really, really great to be a Cowboys fan. It's really great to be a Justin Darlington football fantasy manager because we're winning. It's just winning, winning, winning.
I cannot wait.
I'm done with this guy.
I cannot wait to clip this in about 4 weeks when he's 2-4.
You know what? You said this, I think, a couple weeks ago when I was supposed to not be winning the first couple weeks. And actually, I projected to lose almost every week that I start. And like Chris learned the hard way. Saying. I could be projected to lose, but my thoughts and the people I put into place is literally play a key.
I'm just saying, man, I can't wait to clip this when you're 2-4 next week. In the next 4 weeks.
Oh, that's a really crazy turnaround. 2-4 in the next.
Don't worry, we play. I'll beat you. Don't worry. Okay.
Alex, you're the last person I'm worried about.
Robin, your mom's coming at you.
Who?
And anything else, boys? Any last notes before we get off this fucking podcast?
No, you guys really kind of depressed me. With all this Lions and fantasy football talk, so I'm gonna go snuggle my bundle of antidepressant.
Xanax?
Yes.
Okay. Well, on that note, have a wonderful night, guys. Until next time, thanks for sticking with us. And if you listened all the way through, you're a champ. And if you didn't, fuck you. Other than that, I got nothing else to say, boys. Have a good night.
See you guys.